Today I'm going to show you how to set up the new Canon Rebel T100 or EOS 4000D as soon as you get it out of the box. Hello and welcome to Camerawize. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your Canon Rebel T100 or 4000D as it's also called, right from scratch. But first let me tell you about the guide that we've got for this camera. It's a really useful introduction to the camera, and it also tells you about other similar cameras which are available on the market at the moment. It's entirely free for you to download, and you can click on the link in the description below and receive it absolutely free and straight away. Now, first of all, let me show you what I've got here. I've got the camera body, I have a battery, the Canon battery, I have a memory card, and I have the lens. Now, I bought this lens with the camera. It's the standard 18 to 55mm EFS kit lens. I bought that to go with the camera, and I'll put it on here and we'll show you how to do that. So, first of all though, we're going to put the battery in. And if we go to the bottom of the camera, then we can see here there's a battery door, which also is the door for the card. And as you can see, this is a Canon battery. It's got the Canon logo on the top and a little arrow helpfully telling you which way to put the battery in. And if you put the battery in with the Canon logo on the top, then it will slide in very easily and click when it's in fully. This little thing here, this little clicker here, merely holds it in place, and if you pull that latch back, then it will pop out again. So that's the way you take the battery out. Also in here is where, as I say, you put the memory card. Now, I tend to use SanDisk memory cards, and most professional photographers I know tend to think very highly of SanDisk. There are two reasons for that. First is that they're quite hard wearing cards, and secondly, they often give you some software for retrieving files if there's any issue with the card. Finally, they will guarantee the card for life, which is really very useful. However, it's only the card. So if you've got lots of files or lots of images on there and the card breaks or doesn't function properly and the software won't retrieve them for you and you have to send it away to SanDisk, all you get back is a new card. You won't get your pictures back. So if you're going to use cards like this, then you must really, as a matter of urgency, have somewhere to keep your files, your pictures and your videos safely. Usually an external hard drive or at least a computer somewhere so that they don't sit on a single card and risk being lost. Again, if I have this up like this and I push it into the camera, then it will go in and again it will just click slightly when it's fitted properly, and then we can close that door. So now let's put the lens on. If you look at the front of the camera here, you'll see that there is a white square. And if you look at the lens here, you'll see that there's a white square. And in order to put the lens onto the camera, you marry those two up and you turn it clockwise. Okay, as you can see also, the lens and the camera both have covers. And this cover here is to protect the sensor. The sensor is the most sensitive part of the camera, and you really don't want to get dust or dirt in there. So whenever you change lens, always keep the camera facing downwards so that dust and dirt can't fall in by accident. So what I'll do now is I'll take this off the lens and I'll take this one off the camera. And as I say, I'll marry up the two white squares and turn it clockwise so that it fits on properly. And that now is fitted on properly. Just put that like that. And so now you're in a position, because you've got the battery, the memory card and the lens fitted, I'll just take the lens cap off as well, to switch the camera on. Now you switch the camera on, as I've mentioned before, by switching it basically on the mode dial away from the off setting. But in order to make any changes, it's always a good idea, if you're changing the custom menus or any of the functions to have it on M for manual, because that gives you the opportunity to see everything that's available to you that you can change. So I will switch the camera on by switching it to M. You access the menus by pressing the menu button here, and you navigate round them either by using the cross keys here or the rotate dial. You confirm a selection by pressing the set button in the middle of the cross keys. Now, the first option that comes up when you switch the camera on immediately is the option to change the time and the date. Now, this is also in one of the setup menus, and you can go back and change it later if you wish. But as it's an opportunity to do that now, then you can do that. And you do that by using the cross key pad, which is on the back of the camera. And you can use the cross key to either press set, which is the middle key, which then highlights the option that you've chosen. And then you can use the up or down keys or the left to right keys in order to move and navigate around the options. And in time, you can change the time and the date. And then below that, you can choose to change it either to UK time and date settings or American time and date settings. And if you look at it now, you can see that it moves as and when you change that option, and the date and time changes accordingly. And then you can set it to date saving time, time saving time, etc. And then when you're comfortable with that, you can choose to press OK. And that sets the time and the date for you. Now, the other option that you may want to look at is also in Setup 3, and that's called Language. And if you click on there, then you can see that there are a many number of languages that you can operate this camera in. And again, you use the cross keys to move up or down. But as we want English, we don't have to go anywhere, and I can just press set. Now, the next option I'd take a look at would be image size. And obviously, with a camera of this sort, you want very good image size and very good image quality, because presumably that's one of the reasons you bought the camera. So if you go to Shooting Menu 1, the top option there is image quality. And if you select that, then you have a choice of various image qualities and compression qualities. But I would choose the quarter circle and the capital L, because that represents the best image quality and the best compression quality. And that means that you get the best possible JPEG file that you can produce with this camera. Sometimes when you're working, the LCD screen will automatically switch off. This helps you to save battery life, but it can be pretty annoying. To switch the camera back on, press the display button. To change this function, go to Auto Power Off, which is in Setup Menu 1. As you can see, you can extend it for up to 15 minutes or even disable it altogether. But I suggest extending it to 1 minute. Now, so that you don't take pictures without the memory card in, there's a setting in Shooting Menu 1 called Release Shutter Without Card. This should be set to disable. Just above that in the menu is the beep. Now, beep is the sound that is made by the camera when it focuses. And if I can just perhaps use that now. There you go, you see. Now, that can seem to be very useful, but after about 5 minutes, it's really quite annoying. And so I would switch it off. And as I say, for that is in Shooting Menu 1 and is just below image quality, and I would disable it. Now, the other thing you need to do, which is really important, is format the card. And so if you go up to Setup Menu 1, then the third option down there is Format Card. Now, the important thing to remember here is if you've just put a new card into your camera, you will need to format it just to ensure that the card and the camera are formatted correctly to work together. But also you might want to format the card perhaps after you've downloaded all your pictures, or if there's a read-write issue that is affecting the way that the card is working. So it's a useful thing to have, but it's also not a very good option to use casually, because when you format the card, you lose everything on it, even pictures that you think you have protected. So formatting the card effectively erases everything on the card. So don't take that decision lightly. Make sure that you've backed up your pictures somewhere else. If you choose that, then you can go in, and if you are happy to choose OK, you use the cross keys just to move from cancel to OK, and then press set, and everything on the card will be erased and the card will be formatted. But as I say, first time round, you should format it anyway. And finally, I would go to Setup menu 3 and look at copyright information. Here I would enter my name. It's a bit clumsy, but I think it's worth it, because every picture or video you shoot will have your name attached to it as the copyright holder. And probably more important, if the camera is stolen at any point, you'll be able to identify your camera because it will have your name in it. Thieves rarely bother to go this far into the camera settings. And that's the basic setup for the Canon 4000D or T100. Thank you for watching this video. Remember, if you want to see our free guide, then click on the link in the description below. And if you want to see our superb manual about this camera, then click on that link in the description below. And we'll give you a special code so that you can get 20% off the price. Look out for more of our videos about this camera, and we'll see you very soon.